be a part of Miyazaki's very first feature and to see where he started in relationship to where he is now is thrilling. And I'm honored. And what a cast.
Really talented cast. Allison Loman was really soft and subtle and sweet.
You must be tired after running from that home. What really interested me with this character is that the way Miyazaki did it. She's very free and young and girly with the little skirt and the high boots, very stylish, yet she's this strong-willed, independent, just commands authority. It's just these great contrasts for this girl. Wow, is that a fox squirrel? I've never seen one before. I'd never done this before, so it was really new to me. Don't mind. Live action, it's easier for it to come out natural, but with animation, it's different because you don't necessarily know the context and you just have this line. So it does take a bit of work to kind of get there, and to have the writers right there changing the wording to kind of make it fit you, and the director there to kind of guide you with the different inflections. Oh, go back to the jungle. This is not your world.
And she's not too hysterical here. She's kind of trying to be calming.
Oh, go back to the jungle. This is not your world. So it's definitely a collaboration of really talented people. He's perfect. Will you let me keep him, Lord Yuba?
Villagers, we've come to your land in the name of peace.
I play a character, Kushana, who is the commander of the Tamikian army.
Move out!
I started out looking at her as a villain because that's always sort of fun, but most people don't think that they're causing harm. Most people think when they do things that they're doing what they have to do. You have to get inside what is it that a person is thinking that they're trying to achieve.
Follow us and join our enterprise. You shall put the toxic jungle to the torch.
One of the things with my character is that she's got this mask on to protect her, most of the time. So all you could see of her was her eyes. And occasionally her eyebrow would raise. We would make sure that we matched the voice to, the tiniest gestures. Having actually studied Japanese, its rhythms are really different than English. And so what we kind of relate to emotionally in the English language, when our voices go up, when our voices go down.
While I'm gone, begin to awaken the warrior.
For Japanese pronunciation, it's a totally different orientation. The measure of it was a little different, but that was, a balance between the speed of the actor and the emotion and the writing.
You're letting me go?
Yes, granted that you return to your kingdom.
I did get to hear some of Patrick Stewart's voice, and that was very inspiring. He's one of the great voices, and the way he uses language is beautiful.
What are you doing here? This chamber is filled with toxic plants.
I find a certain liberty that comes with doing voiceovers, that you have an image to work from. There are already indications for what something will look like. So therefore, the interesting thing is to find the voice that matches those images.
Don't worry about that. Our only concern is that the warriors stay dormant.
This was the first time that I've ever dubbed a voice from another language. We were blessed with one distinct advantage in this, in that the character that I play is either wearing a mask or his mouth is entirely covered with a large moustache. So I was never having to lip sync. What I was doing was moustache syncing, because his moustache moves as he talks. So I've yet to face my first encounter lip syncing a foreign language.
Welcome back, Lord Yuba.
Why, Mito, you're looking fit.
Whatever
Excuse me
kind of
once
discipline
again.
you're working, you use the same instrument, still using the same voice, but you use it in different ways. You can accent it using different kinds of human emotion.
What are we supposed to do? I can't just sit here and watch our valley be destroyed.
The characters are created. You just kind of have to find the rhythm of what they're doing and try to blend in a reality into it.
Looking good.
I'm Asbel from the land of Pejai. I've never done an animation this scale or worked with people this respected in this field ever. Somehow, you're going to have to find a way to stop this toxic jungle from spreading. The play of Prince is weird because I'm so far away from that. The hardest part for me was like getting the enunciation down. Because when I talk, I slur and I say we're instead of we are, it's instead of it is.
Ah, these nuts-sticks awful. What are they?
I think I laughed more than I said lines.
This isn't a nut. This is penicillin.
You're just cracking jokes the entire time, and there's not a lot of pressure. It's just enjoyable. The film is what's getting watched, not you. That's where the focus is.
Let go of the princess now!
Calm down, asshole.
It's wonderful because most of the animation directors look at you with their ears. They don't want to be distracted by how you appear.
The Tolmekians want to destroy the world.
Thanks, good read.
People will say in animation, can you add about 20 pounds to that voice?
You sort of find a way to get heavier.
That's why I compare it to radio acting, because I'm able to play parts I would never get if I were doing it on camera.
And once we have the warrior, we'll burn the jungle and take back the earth.
One thing I found about playing villains is that the characters don't see themselves as villainous.
But what should we do? Surrender and become the slaves of the Tolmekians?
Rather than sort of a gritty, hard-edged, villainous kind of, stereotyped villainous voice, they wanted me to be more warm, which I think is wonderful because the conflict is always set in motion by the so-called villains.
You're awakening long-forgotten ambitions, even in a lazy old soldier like me. I don't think that most audiences, at least up until fairly recently, were aware of the amount of work and the extraordinary imagination that it takes to both create, and in this version, to recreate the voice work. I'm doing the English version of a character that's already been animated in Japanese.
Hold your positions! Hold it! Wait! We must stand our ground until Her Highness returns!
So I'm sitting in the booth, listening to the Japanese actor, and watching the version on the screen that I'm supposed to be lip-syncing to, and it's a little surreal, but great fun.
It's falling apart! I knew it was too soon.
The way they have my character animated in the piece, there's a lot of, and I can only sort of do an imitation of the way they've got him drawn. There's a lot of this, where his mouth kind of goes like that. There's a sort of crooked grin on his face all the time. And it was a wonderful sort of character key for me, because it showed me that here's a man who's in the midst of this very difficult and horrible situation, and he always sees the irony in it.
Yes, I do see your point.
It'll be a part of the English version of Miyazaki's first movie, and I don't use this word lightly, an honor.
Very, very proud to be a part of it.
I love the way the film comes out.
This is a thrill. This is outstanding work.
This film definitely is a landmark film. It's Miyazaki's work that really inspired me.
Just to be a small part of an ensemble cast in a Miyazaki film is a thrill.
He's a great renowned artist, Miyazaki, and to get to play a character in one of his movies is a real treat, and I love doing it.